Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Jurassic World Dino Hybrid Rampage Indominus Rex. This is the large-scale dinosaur for the Dino Hybrid toy line that follows up two dinosaurs from the Jurassic World toy line that were large-scale, which were the Bad Girl Indominus Rex as well as the Stomp and Strike Tyrannosaurus Rex, both of which were pretty lackluster, especially the Stomp and Strike T-Rex. So when news came out that this Indominus Rex hybrid was coming out, people got excited. Early images from New York Toy Fair indicated that this was something that was going to be far more impressive than what we had been seeing for Jurassic World. It was going to have more detail, more paint, and better action features. But is that actually the case? Well, let's find out. So looking at the box here, you can see that this is the same Jurassic World style box. It's been tweaked a little bit to bring in the hybrid theme. You still get that really unfortunate render of the T-Rex on the far right. Small image of the toy on the far left says Hybrid Rampage Indominus Rex. Requires 2 AA batteries, which are included. Ages 4+, Hasbro, adult assembly required. Shows you how to activate the action features in order to test them out. Side of the box says more of the same. And here is the opposite side there. The back of the box gives us a look at the toy, and this actually looks maybe somewhat better than the actual toy, I would say. It's got a better gradient up in the eye area where you have the fenestra, and a little bit more blending work for the gold on the lower parts of its body. It says you get chomping jaws, you get fang reveal, and you get spike reveal. So 3 features. It says Hybrid Rampage Indominus Rex. The fearsome Hybrid Indominus Rex is terrifying and unpredictable. Born in captivity, she is on the loose stalking her prey. Watch out, she's rampaging across Jurassic World. At least they changed it finally. And then just the rest of the box, very simplistic, very much in line with what we've come to know. You get the official Jurassic World logo. That doesn't mean that it's good. Up top it says Jurassic World, and at the bottom you get a look at 3 other items. There is Owen with blue, there is the Ankylosaurus that we previously looked at, and the Indominus Rex that we also looked at with the armor. That's all you get, nothing else new to be seen. So I am going to spend a few minutes taking this out of the box. When we come back, we'll take a closer look and see what this is like. Alright, so first things first, it is very tedious getting this dinosaur out of the box. There are so many ties to undo. You get a pamphlet that shows you the Indominus Rex. Kind of looks weird in that image, and just kind of tells you a little bit about how it works, how to press the buttons, how to activate all those action features, turning the arm, the spike reveal, and all of that. So this is pretty standard and shows you how to change the batteries and all that good information there. The tail comes separately from the rest of the dinosaur, so you do need to insert it. And once you do, keep in mind that this is a permanent change. You're never going to get this out again. All right, you guys, and here is the Indominus. Now, I do got to say that it is very hard to stand. As you can see, I just had to catch it. And the reasoning for that is that the feet are very thin. This is insane. I mean, not even the Bad Girl had feet that were that thin. So I also want to mention it's very, very lightweight. The feet are too small. The center of gravity is just too poor that she can't stand. I have no clue how they did it at Toy Fair because this one is just not wanting to stay. I feel like I'm talking to my dog here. Looking at the dinosaur itself, you can see that it looks decent, I guess. I mean, it is quite different from the Bad Girl. I thought they were going to be a little bit more similar. This one is actually like bone white, whereas the Bad Girl was gray. And I felt that the Bad Girl was a pretty good effort, probably one of the better ones in the Jurassic World line. What this one has that the other one did not is the color. You can see that it's very colorful. And if we can get it to stay standing for more than 5 seconds, I can tell you that it is very lightweight. It does feel very hollow, very cheap feeling. But I mean, what do you expect? As far as the actual detailing goes, it's not terrible. It does have some sculpted detail on it, as you can see, though it's not quite on par with Kenner, of course. But, you know, it does have some detail. You can see that on there. You can see that on its arms. You can see it on its legs. If they would have given it a wash to actually bring out that sculpted detail, it would have looked even better, but they failed to do so. Now, I don't like the black holes in its head. It has these fenestra that are just painted black, which doesn't really work. It looks like a skeleton. It looks like a zombie. I don't like that. Okay, so as you can see, I had to get one of my stands from one of my Metacom figures in order to get it to stay propped up. Seems to be working right now. I'm not sure if that's going to last because Obviously the dinosaur weighs quite a bit more than that little plastic stand does, but for now it is standing. And this gives you a good look at what you can expect to receive. Basically it is the full-size Indominus. It's pretty large. It stands at about 11 inches tall, and the overall length of the dinosaur is going to be about 22 inches. Now, I do like the coloration that they went with. I do think that it is a little bit too white, which, like I said, makes it look much like a skeleton. But you do have that very nice red-orange color, which does add a flare of aesthetic interest to the animal. You can see that there is some gold paint underneath its body, on its arms, and then on its feet. It's metallic, so it does fall in line with what we've seen from the Jurassic World Dino Hybrid line. Of course, it's not a regular Indominus. It does have more spikes on its body. You can see on its head, it's got more of a spiked look to it. You get a giant JW logo on its hip, which looks absolutely horrendous. Looking at it from the front, you can see where the legs are kind of off-center, which is part of the reason it doesn't stand very well. You can also see how shiny that metallic gold is. It really looks like bronze. On the opposite side, you do get those screw holes. The screws themselves are quite shiny, as you can see. It's really too bad they didn't take this opportunity for this new release to kind of plug them up, go out with a bang, since this is the tail end of Hasbro's contract agreement with Universal for doing dinosaurs. But it is what it is. I think that the overall scale of the dinosaur, though, is better than we saw with the Bad Girl Indominus. Just seems to have a better proportioned head. The body's a little bit more beefed out. The arms and legs seem to be a little bit more appropriate. Same for the tail. Go to give you a comparison here of the Dino Hybrid Indominus along with the Bad Girl Indominus. And as you can see, they scale up pretty well one to the other. But once again, I think that the overall proportions on the hybrid version are better than on the Bad Girl version, which just looks more dragon-like. It's got a huge head, way too thin. That aside, I don't think that the actual detail is quite as nice, since you don't get as much shadowing and as much of a gradient going on with the paint. And like with the hybrid, the Bad Girl does not stand very well at all, which is why she is propped up in this fashion. Another thing to note is that the tails on both of these dinosaurs are exactly the same, just painted in different colors. And just to give you a comparison here of both of the heads, you can kind of see what I mean about the Bad Girl having more of a blended sort of coloration that just comes across as looking a little bit more detailed. The hybrid just looks a little bit too washed out with such a bright white coloring, and then the black around the eyes just being filled in so much. It should have been blended a little bit better than that. The red eyes are pretty cool. They are painted pretty nicely. Just give you a look here along the top of the dinosaur so that you can see how all this comes together basically. That's where you have the spike reveal right there, which we'll look at in just a short moment. Down here at the bottom, you can see where the head is and the neck joint, and then all of that bronzish looking gold. It's pretty far out. It's just very, very gold. And there's not very good of a blending job done there. I mean, on the arms it looks okay, but underneath it, there's just not really anything there. In fact, under the arms here, it's just white. So you can see that it's just a lot of gold. There's a speaker box right there. There's your battery compartment right there. And it's nice that that's on the bottom, because when you have it upright, you can't see any of that, which is very nice. As far as articulation goes, you can't move the left arm because it is integrated into the action feature. It does move, but it is specifically for the action feature. You can move the right arm, and you can move both of the legs, which are very stiff, which is a good thing since the Bad Girl tended to have very loose legs that just didn't work very well and prevented it from standing. As far as the inside of the mouth is concerned, you can see that it is purple. There's not really a whole lot of detail to be seen, and you can also see that it does have those two fangs right there. And the fangs actually do go inside when you close the mouth, and when you activate the action feature, they come out. Now, as far as those action features go, the very first one we have here is the spike reveal. In order to activate it, all you need to do is press the button here on its side. You can see that it makes the same roaring sound that we got with the Bad Girl Indominus Rex, and basically the red spikes on its back split apart, and then you get those yellow spikes that pop out from the inside. If you press it again, they disappear, and it makes a little bit of a sound. It's a different roar right there. I do like how this button right there for the spike reveal is pretty well concealed. Now the other action feature is the arm. You crank the left arm just like this, and sometimes it gets stuck. And it just kind of like does random things. Sometimes it'll open its mouth once, sometimes it won't do anything, and other times it'll actually chomp a few times. So let's just play with it, see what we get. So some sounds, and you can see that the arm does get stuck. That actually worked pretty well that time. The arm didn't get stuck, and it chomped quite a few times. And you could kind of hear the mechanical sound of it, the springs and whatnot that are inside it. Nothing there. So, as you can see, it's very random as to whether or not it works, but so I mean, it does have good sounds. It definitely has better sounds than the Bad Girl did, which kind of repeated, I think, every 3 times that you would activate the action feature. So at least here you're getting the spike reveal, and you're also having this other thing where it randomly works.
I like how its fangs pop in and out somewhat when it does that.
So when it works, it's actually pretty fun. But the problem is that most of the time it doesn't seem to do anything. The arm gets stuck. If they were able to do this in a way that made it completely reliable each and every time you activated it, then that would actually be pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's not really like that. So as far as how this action feature works, well, obviously you do have the crank right there, which has a spring in it, and then the head is actually a 2-piece kind of deal that's on this joint here. This doesn't move, but the upper jaw does, and so does the lower jaw to a lesser extent. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Jurassic World Dino Hybrid Rampage Indominus Rex. Overall, you guys, this just isn't that great. I mean, from what we saw at Toy Fair, it looked like it was going to be a pretty solid release. One of the better items in the Jurassic World line. And you know what? Maybe it is one of the better toys in the Jurassic World line, but the fact is that it looked a lot better at Toy Fair, performed a lot better at Toy Fair, and what we're left here just seems like an inferior version of what we saw. This one has less paint detail on it. Sculpt work is decent. You do get quite a bit of sculpting on it, but if they would have implemented some sort of a wash here just to bring out that sculpted detail, it would have looked so much better. They neglected to do that, and then for what they did paint, I actually think that the red-orange stripes do look really good. I'm not fond of that huge JW logo, but the rest of it looks pretty good. The black paint on the fenestra is just a little bit overdone. They should have given it more of a gradient. As far as that bronze metallic coloration goes, I don't mind it a whole lot. It is in keeping with the hybrid theme, but I don't necessarily love it either. I also really think that they should have painted the claws on this dinosaur. They did not do that. And I think at Toy Fair they actually did. So again, another way that this is inferior to what we saw before. The screw holes are pretty annoying, but I guess it's not too surprising that it has them because after all, pretty much everything else in this line has had them before. The action features themselves, like I said, when they work, they're great. I do like the spike reveal. I think that it's fun. It's a little bit hard to press that button, but that's probably better than it being too loose. That feature I have no problems with, and I really do like the sounds that it makes when you activate them. What's even more problematic is when you crank the arm and the action feature is just so unreliable. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The arm gets stuck. You just never know what it's going to do when you pull that arm back, but I guess there's a little bit of fun in that unpredictability, except for when the arm gets stuck and except for when nothing happens, because that's just not fun. The potential really is there, but unfortunately it does need quite a bit of improvement in order for it to qualify as a really good toy. As it is, it's just so-so. So as far as where you can pick this up, I got mine at Toys R Us. They're just now starting to hit. It retails at $34.99, which is the same price point as the Bad Girl Indominus Rex, as well as the Stomp and Strike T-Rex. Alright, my friends, if you've enjoyed this video, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Till next time, my friends. Bye-bye.